Hey guys, my name's Matt, and welcome to another edition of Distinct Devotionals. We've been watching a TV show recently that depicts a father who controls his kids through fear and intimidation. When the kids make mistakes, they're afraid to go to their father and admit their failings. This is the exact opposite of the model that God has set for us. We should be able to go to our fathers, run to our fathers with confidence and boldness, to admit our mistakes and receive mercy and grace. Let's look at some scriptures. I run to you, God. I run for dear life. Psalm 31:1. Let us then approach God's throne of grace with confidence so that we may receive mercy and find grace to help us in our time of need. Hebrews 4:16. We can go to God with bold confidence through faith in Christ. And finally, the prodigal son. I will arise and go to my father, and I will say to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and before you. This whole thought process reminded me of when I was 16 years old. I had my driver's license only for a couple of months, and some friends and I decided to go mudding. If you're from the country, you know about mudding. And we lived on a large cattle ranch, and I knew that there was a field on the far side of the ranch that was muddy from the rain. So we took my truck to the field and began sliding around in the mud, and all of a sudden, we slid from a muddy part of the ground onto a dry piece of ground. And immediately my truck rolled several times over. When the dust settled, I immediately took off running and ran all the way to our house on the other side of the ranch. I walked right up to my parents and told them how I had messed up and repented to them. I can't point to anything in particular in my upbringing that my parents did that would make me feel confident and comfortable running to them and repenting as my first reaction. But obviously, this was intentionally fostered by them in our family. We can't point to this in the story of the prodigal son either. But obviously, his father intentionally fostered some sort of culture that made the son realize when he had a mistake that he could go to his father boldly and confidently. We must ask the Lord how to intentionally create this culture within our families so that our kids feel confident in coming or boldly running to us when they mess up. And I think it all begins with understanding this concept in our relationship with the Lord. So as we foster our businesses and our families, let's keep that in mind and put some intentionality around making sure that those who God has given us to steward, our families and our employees, that we create a culture that's not based on fear and intimidation, but is based on comfortability and humility, that when our family members, our kids, our employees mess up, they know that they can run to us and that they will receive mercy and grace the same way that we've received them from the Lord and from our earthly parents. Thank you guys. We'll see you next time.